Okay, my voice is clear. I think I was speaking, but my mic was muted. So let me restart the things which I have discussed. So today we're going to talk about how to improve English pronunciation for I speaking. If I take an overview of our previous lectures, we have practiced different I speaking tests. However, we also discussed about basic structures of the speaking, and we also discussed about band descriptors, how what we need for securing higher bands and what things lead to lower bands. So apart from that, we were discussing about fluency and coherence. I think there were 2 week Eid holidays, and before holidays, we were focusing on fluency and coherence. I have shared different strategies how we can avoid filler words and what strategies we can use to bring fluency in our speaking. So I think 2 weeks were enough to improve your fluency uh, during the holidays. I think we also work on it before the holidays. So there are 4 marking criteria. One was fluency and coherence, and have, I think we have take the our look on basic art criteria in the initial classes. However, we were focusing on individual criteria like the problems we are facing. I have observed that many people have problems of fluency, so that's why I discussed in previous classes. Today, we are going to focus on pronunciation. This is one of the 4 marking criteria. So I will discuss some things which can help us to improve our pronunciation, because pronunciation is very necessary. If your speech is not understandable for a listener or an examiner, then you might face low score issue. Because if speech is not clear to examiner, then he can give you a lower score. So we need to make sure our speech is clear, but there are other things in pronunciation which we need to focus on it. So let's start. How to improve your English pronunciation and accent. There are different ways, like we need to analyze your speech, minimal pairs, tongue twister, word stress, sentence stress, shadowing, and recording. Okay, so we will see each category one by one. So first question is said, what is different between accent and pronunciation and how they are marked in English speaking tests? So many have question like, are my accent is going to give me a lower score. So let me discuss this first before moving to another strategies and ways. Accent refers to the way a person speaks a language. Your accent varies based on certain factors such as native language, the place you were born, and where you learned English. However, pronunciation refers to the way the individual sounds and words are spoken in a language. It is the overall way the words are spoken with no connection to geographical location. Okay, when you will listen to different people, you will see that people have different accent, even if they are speaking the same language. Even you will notice the way of speaking English of Pakistani and Indians. Even have a different accent while speaking this language. Pakistani has a different accent. British people have different. American have different. So it involves many factors like your native language, the place you were born. Like this also plays a real role. You can say that Urdu is different. If you will notice the accent of Pathan while speaking Urdu, you will see that how their way of speaking Urdu is different from people who are living in other parts of the country. So different things play a role in accent, the place you were born, where you learn English. But pronunciation doesn't have such thing, like there is no geographical location factor in this. It is how the individual sounds and words are spoken in a language. It is the overall way the words are spoken. So there is a one way how we can pronounce word like the, it, will. So this is the pronunciation how we need to pronounce sounds so that our word would be accurate, static, like passion. So these are the different words. So what is It is called pronunciation, how we are producing individual sounds in each word. So is the next question is your accent is accent marked in official English speaking test? So answer is no. Your accent is not marked the most official English speaking test. However, your pronunciation is. Let's look at some example of, okay, our pronunciation is marked, so that's why we need to speak each word clearly so that it become understandable for examiner as well as any listener whom you are giving test every day. Let's imagine that you pronounce the word sit and seat in the same way during an IELTS speaking test and it confuses the examiner. This will have an effect. Okay, many people are not like they are pronouncing these two words. You know, this is a sit and this is a seat. Sometimes we pronounce the word, examiner face difficulty. Either the person pronounce the word sit and seat. Sit. So you need to make difference, sit and seat. This will have an effect on your brain score. However, imagine that you pronounce the sound T by touching your teeth instead of your aloe vera reach the hard part at the top of your mouth behind your teeth. Okay, when you pronounce the word sit, you will see your tongue is touching your hard part of the teeth, which is back of the upper teeth. So what if seat? So instead of your alveolar reach the hard part at the top of your mouth. So we need to make our sounds clearly. So it play different roles like how we are moving our tongue, how we are touching with different parts of our mouth. So but the examiner understand you perfectly. This will not affect your band score. So the way you are pronouncing the words, if it is understandable for a listener, so then it is okay. But if you are not making the difference between sit and seat, then it will cause problem for examiner, so you can get lower score. So you need to make a difference between sit and seat. Clear pronunciation is essential to score well in an English test. Your answer can contain the most impressive vocabulary and grammatical structure, but if your examiner can't understand you, then you are at risk of getting lower score than you deserve. So let's look at 6 tips to help you improve your English pronunciation. Okay, this is the basic things we have to check, either our accent is marked or not, why it is necessary, like we need to speak clearly. So you have very good vocabulary, you have very good command on grammatical range and accuracy, you have fluency, but nobody is going to understand your words and sentences and the way which you are speaking. So there's no matter, you are unable to communicate with each other. So why we learn different languages? What is the meaning if we are not understandable Chinese language? It means we can't communicate with the person who just only knows Chinese. So if your language is not understandable for the examiner, how the examiner will mark your test? Even your vocabulary is very strong, your grammatical range and accuracy is very good, you're producing wide range of complex sentences, as well as you're using it appropriately, and you are very fluent and your answer are coherent, but your speech is not understandable examiner, then how the examiner will mark your score? So this is the point where it comes, we need to pronounce each words and our speech clearly so that it becomes understandable for any listener. In even some people even speak their native language such as Urdu, then their speech is not clear because there are different styles of speaking. Some people are speaking from mouth. I think if you are speaking clearly, you have need to speak from throat, so your voices are produced deeply. So if you're speaking, you will notice some people even in the native language they are speaking from mouth, but they are their words are not understandable. So before moving to our next ways to improve our pronunciation and accent, if anyone have question, you can ask, and if you want to add anything, you are welcome. You can unmute yourself and can add. Okay, if you do not have a question, then we can move to our topic. So further, and I will take the questions again if you have. how to improve your acha, okay, one way is, okay, nobody can tell us better than us. We can analyze ourselves better. So we need to, what is the first step? We need to analyze our speech. How we can analyze? Let's start. One way is to, that's why it is recommended to, it is always good, you need to practice in different ways. Like you can find a partner, but there is some issue with speaking just one person, that you are biased to one person recommendations. So sometimes one person is unable to spot certain mistake, while if you give the same test to another person, some weakness areas can be identified the another person. So that's the reason we need to speak with different persons. But besides speaking from different person, nobody is expert. Like, and if they are not enough expert, nobody can analyze your each word of your speech. So it is better to record your speech. So that's why it is recommended. We not only follow the one way, we need to practice with different person. Besides this, we also need to record our speech, so that we can analyze ourselves, how much filler words we are using, what grammatical mistakes are using. So recording is very helpful to analyze either you're fluent, you're producing filler words, as well as for pronunciation. You can analyze yourself, how much your words are clear. Are you rushing your words? Like, sometimes we're speaking in such a way that our words are rushed, like they are combine different words of the same sentence. So it is very difficult to understand. So this is called rushing your speech. Let's, okay, you need to find a video of someone whose way of speaking accent you like. I usually recommend the Vogue interviews on YouTube, like this one with Imam Watson. If you can visit, when I will share this link. So you need to open a recording app and on your phone. Then what you need to do, you need to play a one line of each video, and you need to record the same line. So as the original video, so you can know that how you are producing the same line. Or the another way, you can repeat the same words beside while the video is playing, so you don't need to stop the video. So these are the two ways. Like, do this for at least 1 minute. When you record it, at least some minutes, stop the recording, listen and listen back to it. Compare your pronunciation to the persons in the original video. Play Pay close attention to the individual sounds, rhythm, pace, stress, and intonation, and make a note of mistakes or problems you have. Instead of saying, say, I say, have a list of things you can start to focus on, which will help you improve your English pronunciation and track your progress. So there are many things in English, like stress. I will share the video which will help you to know what is stress. Intonation is basically a rise and fall of your speech. When you are sad, you are speaking in a different way with different emotions. When you are happy, your speech will be different. Like, if I ask someone, how you pass the exam, why you fail the exam, so you will notice that our tone will be changed. If you will listen that someone has failed the exam, your expression, your tone will be changed. If you will get that someone pass the exam with first position, you will say, wow, you got the first position. And if someone failed the exam, oh, you failed the exam, what happened? So this is the intonation, like rise and fall of speech. It depends on different emotions. So we don't need to speak monotonous way speech. This is not recommended, because when you are doing this in the exam, it's mean you are like memorize the answer, and you are speaking in a monotone. There's no intonation in your language, you are just speaking in a one tone. This is something also called academic one. So it's a formal discussion. You need to bring intonation in your language instead of keeping your tone monotonous, because sometimes it seems that you memorize the answer and you are giving the answer. So this is pace, either you're slow, and rhythm. This rhythm, it depends when you know about stress, how your speech is. What will be the rhythm of your speech? In which words you need to emphasize, like put the stress or not? I will look into the next one when we will move forward. So minimal pairs are essentially two words where only one sound differs. They are great if you confuse similar words and sounds. Like an example of minimal pair is southern and southern. So what is the difference between as southern and sudden. So they have very different spelling, but the only sound that change are D and O. So sudden, these are the some sound in the middle which are changing. So sometimes we confuse, and it is it is difficult for examiner to understand, like, are you producing sudden word or southern. So we need to make also type of words clear. So that's why it is recommended, do not rush your speech, or do not make your pace fast, so that sometimes if we are speaking too fastly, our sounds are also rushed. So sometimes they are also difficult to differentiate between past verbs, like plurals, similar sounds. So that's why we need to speak clearly. And when we're speaking clearly each word, sometimes it gives a little bit pass to the next person. And if we're speaking like essentially two words where only one, so when we're speaking like this way, it means some words and sounds are not clear. So if we're giving the time, minimal pairs are essentially two words where only one sound differs. So this is the different way. Okay, tongue twister. Anyone know about tongue twister and using in their uh, routine? Raise hand if you are using tongue twister for this speaking test.
Uh, no, ma'am. I haven't listened.
Yes, sir. You have question. I am unable to understand what you said.
No, ma'am. I do not know about tongue twister.
All right. So there are many benefits of using tongue twister. I would say you need to make habits of using tongue twisters. So I will share some of them, and two examples are there. I will share the one article where you can find around 50 tongue twister. So why would you use, if you have, let's say what is written, and then I will share my insights as well. Would you like to make a pronunciation practice more fun? Tongue twister are a fun solution for how to improve your English pronunciation. There's some great tongue twister which focus on very specific sounds. Take a look at these below and give them a go. You can also find a lot of videos. Okay, they didn't mention many things, but they mentioned one way to improve. So let me tell you why we use this. What are the benefits? Let's see one example. She sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, I have practiced this tongue twister many times, so that's why I'm able to repeat it clearly. But when you start speaking with ss sound, you will not able to speak, like you will become confused. Anyone try to can anyone read this tongue twister one by one? This one, anyone who would like to read this?
Okay, ma'am. So she sells seashells by seashores.
Can you repeat it couple of times?
Okay, ma'am. Let me give it a try. So it's she sells seashells by seashores, and again seashells. Sorry, she sells seashells by seashores. I am
Thank
speaking
you.
in the right way or not?
Yes, you are doing very well. So it's me.
Okay.
It might be seem that your SS sounds are very good. Anyone else who would like to read this sentence, this tongue twister? Okay. Initially, I was facing some problems with producing SH and CS sounds, so I started. This one is, if you have problem like producing SH and CS sounds, sometimes these sounds are difficult. So you can search about tongue twister on Google, like with SH and CS. She sells seashells by the seashore. This is not the sound with SH and CH, but this is one of the tongue twister example. I slit a sheet, I sheet, a slit. So these are the two examples. So why we use tongue twister? What are the benefits? So if anyone know, can you share that? Otherwise, I will share with you.
Ma'am, you can share.
All right. So, okay, there are many benefits. One is you can, if your speech doesn't have clarity, if you are practicing these tongue twisters, it will help us to bring clarity in your speech. If you are hesitating, then have pauses and you're not fluent, practicing tongue twister will also help you to become fluent speaker. This is one of the benefits, and you can bring clarity. You can, if you're hesitating or sometimes you have pauses, it can all tongue twisters can also help us to do this. So there are many tongue twisters. Let me see the one link where there are many of example. If I found, I will share with you. So give me a moment. Can you see this link? There are many tongue twisters. So you can, as I mentioned, they have many benefits. If you want to bring clarity in your speech, it will help you. If you are not fluent, it will also help to fluent. So you need to just read it aloud, not in your heart. So when you are um, practicing proof pronunciation, you can say there are 50 of them. Try to practice every day so that you will find many benefits. It will bring clarity. It will help for intonation as well. You can boost your confidence. So there are many benefits. So try to use these one. You can see a great way to practice improve pronunciation and fluency. They can also help to improve accent by using alliteration, which is the repetition of one sound. They are not just for people, are also used by actors, politicians, and public speakers who want to sound clear when speaking. Below you will find some of the most popular English tongue twisters. See them as quickly as you can. It can master them. You will be a much more confident speaker. You can see there are around 50s. I'm myself using these tongue twisters, so they are also helping me. So try to use it. I will share the link. Okay, so there are many of them. If you're having an issue like CHSH, like appreciation, there are some sound we have issue. Then you can also search about tongue twister like SH with sound, CS sound. So let's take an example. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. A pack of pickled peppers Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, where is the pack of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So this is one, and there are many alternatives. Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said the butter bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So it was better Betty Butter bought a bit of better butter. So how you can see there are many of them. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So you can see if you are doing it as a fun activity and it will also help in many ways. Try to make a habit of practicing these tongue twister while preparing for this exam as well as record your voice. These are many two important things if you will do. I will if you're doing three things practicing tongue twister and recording your test and doing your practices on unfamiliar topics every day with different person. I hope so these strategies will work for you. She sells seashells by the seashore. How can a calm cram in a clean cream can? Ice cream, use cream, we all scream for ice cream. You can say these are similar sound. So it helps you. So try to fuzzy wuzzy was a bear, fuzzy wuzzy had no ear, fuzzy wuzzy wasn't fuzzy as was he. So you can see if you are speaking quickly, however you find not quickly when you start your practicing, but with the passage of time you will be able to speak it quickly. So these are the better. So that's why there are many benefits. So try to use it. Word stress. There are different ways. Like if the word is noun, you will put apple. There is a one video. I think try to watch this video when you have a time. That person
Hi,
will
from
discuss.
Speak More Clearly. Let me ask you something. Are you unhappy with your accent in
Are there any rules for word stress in English? If there are, then what are the rules for word stress?
So you can see this video is very helpful. You will see how we can produce word stress. Like if the word is there's a basic introduction. Let's go to the rule one. I have watched, you will find it, but this should not be a primary goal to focus on it. Before coming to a WordPress, we need to focus on another thing. Let me come to the first rule.
In English. What is a syllable? So a syllable is essentially the units of a word. Pencil.
So, if I talk about a is a one syllable word, at is a one syllable word. If I say table, table is a two syllable word, so it's a single unit. So you can see they are different. How we can bring stress? You will see that if I this is a one rule, there are many 8 rules that Ima Wasim discussed in this channel. So let me tell the first rule, and you will understand what is stress.
Syllables are. Let's start looking at our first rule. Take a look at these words. Table, ticket, pencil, record. What do all these have in common? They are two-syllable nouns. And where does the stress go? On the first syllable. So notice when we stress syllables, we're adding more emphasis. We're pronouncing it more strongly. So pencil, table, ticket, record. So let's
Have you
take
put
ticket
some
for
idea about it? I hope so. You got some idea how we can talk about stress. Like if there are two words, a record is also known used as a noun as well verb. But when we talk about if we this was the noun and we discussed where the emphasis is going on. So there are different rules. If you are using verb, then the stress goes to the second object, provide, become, allow. So object, you can see. But if the word same word can be used as a noun and verb, then in a verb it will go to the record. So you will notice that many people produce the word record as well as record. So why these things are produced? Sometimes I myself confused why some people produce record, some people produce record. So when I learned about watched this video about stress, I came to know that when they use verb as a verb, they see the chord, because into syllable words, chord is stress goes to the second word while verb, but in a noun, stress goes to the first word. So both have pronunciation different. So you need to search about today. What is the pronunciation? Whenever you will saw the video, you will know both have different pronunciation. Even in this word, that person also discuss.
an example is a perfect one here. We have this verbs and where or if it's a verb. Rule number 4. If we have a word ending in or if it's a verb. Rule number 4. If
I think it's internet issues, so that person will describe the while it is using the word is pronounced as record. So you will notice that when you have the time, try to look this video. So then there is a sentence first. This person will also discuss at the end of we put some stress in the word like so. You need to watch this video. You will learn about this rule. Learning how to improve your English pronunciation with sentence stress while when listening to rapid speed, you may notice that some words are pronounced very clearly, while the other words are much weaker, quicker, and connect to other words. Like say, I want to go to the park. So you will notice that in when I say I want to go to the park. So park and go sounds are very stronger in my speech, but the and I these are not. So these are the words which are less important. So we don't put some stress while speaking the entire sentence. While go and park are the stronger words, so we try to put the stress. So this is the basically sentence stress. This means that certain syllables are pronounced with more emphasis, like stress, while others are pronounced much weaker and quicker. And I want to go to the cinema. When you will pronounce, you will know the go and cinema and want are emphasis much compared to I to and the. I want to go to the cinema. So you will notice more emphasis want go cinema compared to the rest of words. So these words should be stressed and the rest of us are very quick and weak. So that's the this is what we call sentence stress. So my suggestion is for you don't focus too much in sentence stress and voice stress even if you are not much confident um, for producing clear speech. So your first focus should be to speech clearly and try to record the speech and test analyze how you are speaking. Either your speech is clear or not. Either it is understandable for examiner or not. If it is not, don't go to these factors, verse stress and sentence stress. These are some higher band level features. If you have time, go through, but your first focus should be your speech should be clear to any listener, or if it is clear to any listener, try to make it clear for an examiner. So you need to record your speech so that you can understand what uh, words you are pronouncing wrongly and what mistake you are making. Either your speech is clear, there is some pause after one sentence, so you need to focus on these things. But besides this, you also need to continue the practice of tongue twister. And if you are good in all these things, uh, try to bring the intonation in your speech, rise and fall. So you can do this while practicing and making your speech clearly. So, in my opinion and suggestion, you should focus on these two things first. Try to make your speech clear and bring intonation. So don't speak monotonously so that examiner understand that you have memorized your answer. So these are the things which you can do is try to listen different podcasts because input is necessary for output. So listening podcasts on any English stuff is the input for your speaking. So you will learn more better way. You will learn how things how words are pronounced. Sometimes even I reading I can't understand. If I listen some word I can remember. I try to put focus how these words are pronounced, so you can easily remember the pronunciation while listening to podcast instead of listening the specific word pronunciation. So this is what I observe. So I think try to make habit of using like try to make habit of listening podcast recording your audio, mm, record your speech so that you can notice that you're missing. So this is again shadowing and recording. Shadowing is a thing used by actors where you listen very closely to a model, a recording or video and try to imitate their speech. So one way to bring intonation, you can record different listening podcast, whatever you like. You can turn on any English video and you can mimic it and then you can record it. It will not only help us to bring intonation but it will also help us to pronounce clearly. So these are the things: listen to a model, pass and then imitate. Second thing, you first pass, imitate and then restart. Second thing method is that if you don't want to pass, try to imitate every sentence which is going on the podcast instead of pausing it. So these are some useful resources, you can use it. So if you have less time, wish to focus on improving your pace, or method 1 is a great if you want to take your time, analyze the pronunciation more deeply. While method 2 is a perfect if you have less time, wish to focus on improving your pace, or you are on the go, walking around and can't pass earlier. So these are the things, it depends on how you can improve. So these are the my tips and which are written, I have taught you on this website, but there are some things which we can do and bring clarity, and we can use, like we can practice tongue twister, we can record our voice so that we can make our speech clear and we can bring clarity. We don't need to rush the sound, we need to clearly pronounce them. While learning new words, remember to focus on when we speak slowly, our words are clear. So if you are rushing the speech, like when learning new words, remember to focus. So some words sounds are not clear for listener. Even some words like past form, plural forms are not clear when we are rushing our speech. So this is the tip. And another tip which I can give you and I have learned, if you are smiling while speaking, it is good because smiling can help us to pronounce words clearly. Smiling means your mouth is little bit wide. So when your mouth is little bit wide, your words will be more clear. So this is the one way you can adapt while speaking. Try to make a habit of wide mouth while speaking, like bring smile. So in that way you can improve your pronunciation. So these are the tips based on my observation. This is sometimes it's not easy job to know about every word because we are not native speakers, so it will be a little bit difficult. I would say try to focus on bringing clarity in your speech. Try to make your speech in a slow pace, like normal pace, not too much slow, so that it can bring clarity. These are the ways you can practice tongue twister. You can record your voice, and recording doesn't mean that you are improving. Recording means you need to record every day, and your next recording should be better than the previous one. Just recording doesn't help you to improve. You need to listen back to your recording and then identify which words are clear for understandable, what fillers are you using, and what you can bring to improve your speech. If you are speaking too fast and your words are not clear, try to speak slowly. If your words are not clear, pronounce each word clearly. So in that way, your next step practice is always better than. So practice doesn't makes you a perfect, but perfect practice makes a man perfect. So keep in mind this way so that you can um, take benefit from all these resources. So we will try to focus on pronunciation in this week as we while we work on fluency and coherence while we were doing practicing before Eid holidays. And I hope so this resources and article will be helpful. I will share the link of this article as well as tongue twisters so you can get help from these. And videos are given like so you can watch the just word stress video, but you can take on look on if you have enough time. But first focus should be what I mentioned. So if you have any question, you can ask. So I have explained the today topic. If you want to add anything and you think that it can help for participants, you are welcome to add anything. If you want any tip, any strategy which we can use to improve our pronunciation, and anything or any suggestion you have, you can give me. Apart from that, if you have any question, you can ask now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Basically, today is my first class, so can you please overview the topics? How many classes have it been, or what is the outline of this class?
Okay, the session which we started, what was the purpose and why I started this or session? My main purpose is to run a session for speaking our speaking practice. We can do a practice test every day. Second purpose was we try to practice with different people so that we can get feedback from different people, and in that way it helps us to not stay biased to any person feedback, because when you are taking feedback from different people, you are getting like you are getting many things to improve. So you, when you are giving test to different people, you will analyze that many different people are giving different suggestions. Some suggestions you will find are very common every feedback whenever you take from different people, so you will notice that these are the your major areas you can improve. Like one of the day I was giving the test, some Memuna joined in our session and she said, I have one problem. Like, what is that? I am my speech when I pronounce well, like plural forms of words like challenges, these are not clear. So this is the one suggestion, and I appreciate different people gave me a different suggestion. One of person gave me a suggestion that in this session, while practicing, I think I am using uh, frequently, I need to avoid. So, what strategy I have adopted after getting this suggestion? I try to search the synonyms, because our use of any linking words is prohibited. Because you can, in if you read the band descriptor, you will notice that our use of any linking word should be avoided. Like if I am using the entire text, I think this is the linking word, but I need to avoid it. What I have done, I have searched about synonyms of item, and I have found, in my opinion, I believe from my point of view, from my perspective, so now I am using a different way. So this is how different people's suggestion can help you. Now I am trying to using different linking words. So these are the two different motives. Apart from that, what I have discussed in this session, in the first class we have discussed basic structure of before each holidays. I think we have 4 to 5. I think 3 to 4 weeks we have practice. In my opinion, here you can go the on iCode Guru FB page, and you can notice that even you can see the pin sheet where the recordings of every day is mentioned there, so you can find them. Okay, usually we do practice, but in the Monday class, I try to bring something to discuss. In the first class, like we have discussed about basic structure of this speaking. So, if you want to get some information about this previous section, you can listen just Monday class, because the rest of the class we usually practice. And if I want to discuss some important topic, I usually discuss on Monday. In the fun class, we discuss basic structure. If you don't have any idea, you can listen to that recording. In one class, we have discussed about band descriptors. What are the band descriptors? Like how our exam is marked. And in 1 week, I have discussed about fluency and coherence. One way I have discussed tips. So this is the things. If let me share the Slack channel and sheet. So these will help you. So do you have any basic idea about this test, or you are totally new to it?
Yeah, I know about the IELTS tests, uh, but for this class I am new, so I will look over all the previous recordings. So I think in the next class I will be prepared for the topics too.
Okay, let me tell. I will not recommend to go through all the recordings, because because we are practicing here today. I discussed about pronunciation. So next day we will start our practice and try to give feedback each other. But our focus should be to, because we discussed pronunciation topic this week, so we will try to make our speak clear. So in terms of feedback, our first focus will be on pronunciation. So this is how we give feedback. Let me tell you the sheet. Share. Can you see this sheet?
Yes.
So you can say this is the description like of each day. What we discussed is written here. So if you don't need to listen all the recordings here. We are doing practice. The usually we discuss topic on Monday class, important topics. So you can see introduction of IELTS speaking modules. So if you don't have any idea, you can go through this recording. If you want to learn about, you can see in second week of Monday class we discuss band score descriptors deeply, how we can, what is examiners looking for band 6 and what things leads to low band. So this was the band descriptor, and you can click this, you can go to the resources which I have shared. Discussion, okay. when we were doing practice, I have analyzed that many people are facing problems on fieldwork. So in this week, we usually make a discussion on fluency and coherence, and I discuss some articles, and then I can share here. You can see. I think there is one more resources. This is one. There was one more resource. I think that is missing. Let me tell you. I think let me put the. I will ask the moderator to edit this link because there was one article where we discussed the strategies to adopt. So I will also share the. I will update this sheet and we'll put the second link. Okay. Here, so where the article, even the article links are also pinned in channel. You can access there. So how we can, I have discussed, this was the week before holiday, so there we discuss how we can improve our fluency and coherence. So for to become fluent, we need to avoid filler words as much as possible. Occasionally are okay, but if you're using excessively, then it is not okay. It can lower your score, and you can. And if you record your voice, you will know better how much filler words you are producing. So this is the tips which we have discussed. So from today we have discussed, because previous 2 week we focus more on fluency and coherence. This week our focus is on pronunciation, because it is also one of the marking criteria. You know, 4 are the marking criteria. One is fluency and coherence, second one is pronunciation, third one is lexical resource, and fourth one is grammatical range and accuracy. So this week, when we do practice for the remaining days, I'll try to make sure we will make, while giving feedback, we notice that either our speech is clear or not. So because we discuss this topic in Monday class, so you can see how we are working it. This one link of missing, that is strategies to adopt. I will share it. I will try to share these resources in this sheet, and I will try to update it, and you will get all the resources which are mentioned here. Some all of them mentioned, but there are some links are missing. One link is missing here, so I will try to add it. These are the strategies I can show you. Let me open it. Otherwise, if you go through to the channel, you will see the pinned messages, and you can. This was the also the resources. This is pinned in Slack channel. So we discuss some strategies which we can adopt to fill our. So these are the strategies which we discuss. So you can study this link. This link is also pinned in channels, pin messages, but this link is missing here. I will try to update here. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
If you still have any question, you can ask. But
Not yet.
okay, I don't recommend any new participant to watch all these because these are basically practice. You can get the know how you can just watch to the one to practice, but it is not recommended to watch every recording of this session. But better to important thing, if you want to know how students are doing practicing and how analyzing, then you can watch 1 or 2 sessions. But it's better to join live classes and practice here and try to get feedback.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else has question? Anybody would like to add some strategies to improve our pronunciation into the topic? You are free to add it. If you have any suggestion for this session, you can give me. Okay. Okay, you do not have any question. All right. So, when are you planning to give the exam? We have couple of minutes, then we can practice the tongue twister here. Oh, all right. So let's do practice for this tongue twister. And inshallah, we will start our practice again from tomorrow onwards because we have just couple of minutes left and we can't do the entire test. So anybody who would like to practice this tongue twister? Third one. Anyone who would like to do practice of this tongue twister? Okay, let's do one by one. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? By the way, it is necessary to speak as fast, but it is recommended to make it clear instead of just speaking fast. He would chuck he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Anybody who would like to practice different tongue twisters? Raise your hand if you want to practice it. It is better try to practice it. She sells seashells by the seashore. How can a clam climb in a clean cream can? Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So you need to pronounce words clearly. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. So sometimes some sounds are very difficult to pronounce, like sh and ch if you are producing this. Sometimes we become confused and they are not much clear. So we can also search some sounds on the internet and you will find many SH and CS sound if you have difficulty to producing a specific sound like SH. So every you can't say someone is good in pronunciation, someone is bad. Everyone has own weak areas. Some people might face difficulty to produce SH and CS sound. There will be other people who will might pronounce these sounds clearly, but they have other issue. So it depends on you can search if you have difficulty in producing sound, so you can search about tongue twister on internet and you will find this is the there are multiple tongue twister you can practice. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines. So we are pronouncing here words clearly. So that's how it helps her improving fluency and pronouncing words clearly and bringing clarity because when we speak too fastly, we are mixing the sounds. So we try to become conscious to make each sound clearly, to not rush with the next and don't mix with the next one. Like Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines. So when you speak fastly, we will notice some issues like we are rushing the things and some words are not clear. Let's see. Lucy works in a shoe shine shop where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines. So when you start speaking fastly, then you will notice that we will start making words pronunciation only. So, but try to make habit of this tongue twister practicing. If you are facing fluency, pronunciation, and gratitude, you can bring improvement by practicing these tongue twisters. So, one strategy doesn't fit all. This might help you. This might not help you. So, if you get many different strategies from different people, you can follow the one which is helping you. So, this is all about today lecture. If you have any question, we can take it in the next session because this is the time to end session due to next class.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for the whole lecture. It was very helpful, and we will definitely practice some of the twisted tongue twisters.
Um,